Welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat Podcast, y'all. I am your host, JoJo.
And I'm Tyra.
Ooh.
With a tan.
With a tan.
I don't know how to act.
Literally. You're making me look like shit.
But my tan is so fucking uneven. Like, so uneven. I'm like tan.
Her shoulders
are dark. And then everything else is like white still.
Like, that's how mines get. Like, my like upper shoulder area be getting tore up by the sun.
It's not cute. I'm peeling already.
But you would think I went and got a little tan too. I spent a little time outside. I mean, I don't look like you, but okay. It's all right. Anyway, how's Puerto Rico?
It was fun.
Yeah, so hold on. We didn't record because she went away, and we actually were so busy the week before that we weren't able to pre-record to give you guys an episode last Monday. So she left us. That's why y'all couldn't get none of us.
Yeah, I needed a little break, honestly. And I visited my family in Puerto Rico, my grandma, my aunt, my cousins, my sister. Like, I have a lot of family over there still. So it was a good time because I haven't seen them in like 2 years. We don't really do much of the touristy stuff. So it was really more like relaxing, chilling with my family, going to the beach. My dad lives in San Juan, and they live like a block away from the beach. So it's like right there. So yeah, it was nice.
She was telling me, first of all, Puerto Rico always rains. Like, and sometimes it's just like a pass-through shower. Mm-hmm. Like in the morning, it'll be so nice and sunny. And then come like towards the afternoonish, it just starts downpouring. And then it gets nicer after that. But she was telling me that it was like that all week while she was down there. So I was like, damn, that's tragic. Mm-hmm. But she was also saying, like, as she said, they live close to the beach. Mm-hmm. And she was saying how like motherfuckers don't enjoy it. Like, they don't take advantage of it. And I just feel like when people have that on the daily, like, you kind of take it for granted, and you're just like,
all the time.
That's regular. It's right there. I see it from my
It's the
room.
Same thing with people who have a pool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my sister lives in Florida, and she has a pool. She never gets in it. Never. I don't even remember the last time she got in it, but she never gets in it. What's wrong?
Touching buttons. I just had to fix it.
Okay.
But yeah, because I grew up, well, I won't say grew up, but eventually when we moved, we got a pool, and we used to do like fucking barbecues and all that shit all the time. My parents were very like entertaining when it came to doing family events. And then after a while, years went on, and like we just stopped taking care of it. Nobody got in it. Like, and that's so crazy because when you have a pool or you're close to the beach, everybody lives close to the beach or everybody has a pool. So nobody really wants to, like, you can't really flex and be like, yeah, come over. Yeah. Like, I got a pool. We can not. Everybody got it. But when you don't have it, when you don't have access to those things, nobody has it. That's one of the main things that I realized was like, when we stopped using our pool and stopped opening it, it was like, well, where do we go? Who has the pool? Who's doing the parties, the barbecues this summer? And nobody has it all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, no, that wasn't a thing. There was nobody I knew. Growing up, nobody I knew had a pool. We didn't have a pool. We just went to the beach here and there. But having a pool was a luxury. And I mean, I think it's still a luxury.
You ain't like buy blow-up pools or like use the holes. We used to use the holes in my grandma's house.
No.
She used to hang the holes on top of the tree.
No.
Or they used to like water us down. Yeah. She used to be cold, but it was fun.
We did that in DR, but not here.
So y'all really just kept y'all ass inside? Pretty
much. Went to the park. Got wet in the park.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thing.
I guess.
I've never been to the park and got wet at the park. Unless it was like
they have
a
like
water
those
park.
Little water thingies. Oh, and we did a lot of water parks.
You have something in your eye. I don't know what you kissed me with. She gave me a kiss before we started recording this episode, and my lips are tingling.
Oh, it's the one that makes like your lips plumped.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's tingling. I don't know about plumped, but anyway. Oh, let me not fuck it up. You got any juice you want to share other than the fact that you just came back all nice and golden?
No, there's like so much shit going on in the world. Like, sometimes I feel like we should just move to Europe. Like, it's like so much drama all the time. So much hate towards the LGBTQ community. And I feel like I gotta watch what I say sometimes here, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta watch what I say, not because of who's listening, as in like listeners, but like brands and things like that. I've noticed that people who have a platform sometimes shy away from speaking about issues because they don't want to lose brand deals. But what I say to that is, I don't care. Because I feel like if the brand doesn't support what I support, then I don't want to work with you.
Mm.
But okay, so one thing that has been going around, which is pretty annoying, and we're not going to make a whole podcast about it, but I think it's important to bring up. So Target removed some of their LGBTQ merchandise after facing customer backlash. And this article says that Target on Tuesday said the retail giant will pull some LGBTQ friendly kids' clothing from its stores after facing customer backlash, just days after the company's top executive dismissed the social media uproar. And apparently that it was because some customers had violent confrontations with workers. And I get that. I mean, I went to Target. I saw the Pride clothing. I thought it was cute. I bought a hat. I did see that there was some kid stuff. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was cute. They had dog stuff too. And I just thought to myself, oh, parents, LGBTQ parents are buying that for the kids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to show that the kid supports it, to show that the kid has like two moms or two dads or whatever the case may be. Like you see LGBTQ families on the internet all the time. But I'm just like, why do y'all care? Like y'all really went into Target trying to like, there was a video of this guy that went into Target and you know how it has like that big rainbow with the Pride merch. He took it down and he stomped on it. You are really mad. Why? You can't sleep at night because of that? Like it's like you don't have to shop there either, or you could just keep walking. You know, like I feel like it's really not. I think people are making it a bigger deal than what it is. And if you don't support it, then don't buy it. Yeah. And it's just sad because those brands that are there are really like small brands handled by like a small team of maybe like 2 to 5 people.
So to get it in like a place
In
like
Target, it's a
that's
big
like
deal.
a big deal.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. But yeah, just support your local brands, support your LGBTQ brands. Don't support these other companies that only celebrate Pride during Pride Month to show that they're supportive, but every other day and every other time of the year, they're funding all these things that go against like the LGBTQ community. And I'm not gonna point any names, of course, but it happens all the time. And at this point, what are you gonna do?
So before, again, you know, a lot of things happen behind the camera before and after recording. So before I hit the record button, I was about to ask her something, but now I got you on the spotlight,
Oh, ask
literally.
me, what's up?
And I'm gonna ask you. So, like, obviously, we didn't record in the last 2 weeks, and like, how did you feel during that time period? You know, you got some time to yourself.
Yeah, unrelated to the Target shit.
Yeah.
Like how did I feel not recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So the podcast is something that we literally work on every single day. Like we kid you not. Maybe we'll take like 2 days to not work on it. At least for me, right? Because the way that it works is we record the podcast. Jojo does everything related to like the YouTube and the audio. Then I go back and do like visuals for all social media. So TikTok, Instagram, and sometimes YouTube. And it's time consuming, I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like for the people who listen, like you guys know us, you guys know everything. Like we you guys listen to us every week, which we appreciate. But with the point of the small clips is for people who don't listen to us to kind of like, you know, get engaged with it. And it's hard to like, you know, make something quick in like a minute or less because people's attention span is very short. So then sometimes it comes out choppy. So I try to like make sure it makes sense. So I felt a little bit relief, but I did miss it, you know? Like I felt like I wasn't connected, if that makes sense. Like I felt very disconnected from everything, which was nice, but at the same time it was weird because it's like it's Pride Month. Like I shouldn't be disconnected. I should be on social media and like all these things are happening and it's like I don't want to be silent because that's not me, you know? So
like knowing we've been doing this for probably a year and a half now.
Yeah.
And I think, we've done a good job with staying fairly consistent with it and, growing. But like, can you imagine life without this? Like, if it was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
I mean, of course I can imagine it without it because we had a life before without it.
Yeah.
But it would be weird. I would still feel like a little bit disconnected, and like we have our good friends Travis and Stephanie who also have a podcast. We've talked about them 100 million times. They've been on the show.
We miss you.
Yeah, so they actually went on a break. But they're still on Patreon, so they're very like, engaged, but they did it for personal reasons, like, getting their lives together, like eating healthier, going to the gym. But that's something that me and Jojo already do because we don't have kids. So it's not like we have a responsibility like kids, So I feel like the summertime is just always crazy for us, especially now that we're both going through something professionally. Like you're doing something new in your field. I'm doing something new in my field.
Yeah.
While trying to get my real estate license. Like I swear I could do it all, girl. Yeah. I swear I could do it all. Like, so I think maybe that's the reason why we've been a little bit not on top of it as usually. But I mean, I still want to do this. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is something you initially just feel like you're over. There are some times where we do feel like, not necessarily what's the point, but like it's time consuming. And it's just like to be in that space where it's like you want to do it, but now you're trying to do everything at the same time because you want to like be connected and give our listeners what they come here for. I mean, I thought about it in the last 2 weeks and I was like, damn, like you said, we did, initially have life without this platform. But I think like I would feel super, super guilty.
Really?
I would feel so guilty.
Why guilty?
I think that's the people pleaser in me though.
It really is the people pleaser in you. And I feel like I get that because I felt like that too. But part of me is like, fuck that. Like you got to take care of yourself at the end of the day, you know? And like maybe for me, I felt like that because I was with my family. Like I was in Puerto Rico. It's not like I was
just not
going to work and doing the same old things. Like it's like
that makes sense.
I was doing something during that time. So it wasn't like I was like doing the same.
That was personal to you.
Right.
I feel like when we're in spaces where we're spending our time personally with those that we love and like actually enjoy what we don't get often, that makes sense. Not saying that we don't want to do this in that time, but it's just like it's a nice little step back to be able to enjoy that. But I wasn't doing that. I was here working and it was regular, right?
Doing the same old.
So for me, it was just like, okay, I don't have to worry about nothing. I don't have to. I mean, we didn't record. I don't worry about putting out. But I think in the same time, I'm just like, wow, like if this was literally to be an end, I would feel guilty because, I mean, the whole point of starting this platform was to give representation. And although I feel like we have been doing that, I would just feel so bad to take that away from somebody.
Yeah, that too. And like someone had commented saying that they haven't found like a YouTube channel of like Latinas, like 2 lesbian Latinas. And I thought of it and I was like, that's true. There is another couple in Arizona. There might be some other couples out there and you guys can comment them down, but we don't see it too often. Like
I am super like low-key obsessive. I want like gay content all the time. So I love like gay couple content and stuff like that. And I actually used to, like I said, I've used to be the person that would like watch people's YouTube channels and shit. And I still to this day kind of like catch up with some. And I think
but like who?
I used to.
Didn't you?
I haven't seen them so much now, but like
Leslie
and damn, what's her name? Leslie and Nikki, Nova and
they're
what's
funny.
Her name?
They're funny.
Nova and
now I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Now I gotta look it up. Honestly, her girlfriend, I feel like I could relate to her so much because she be
actually funny.
She be on her cheap shit, and honestly, Steph and Nova.
All right, so here's a list of some of the like YouTube couples that we subscribe to and we watch from time to time. Where's she at? Krista and Alexis. We're gonna meet them one day. Watch, you watch.
Saida and Iromi.
There you go.
Saida and Iromi.
I'll be watching them. I said Krista and Alexis, Nick and Les, Cass and Carly. Yeah, you know who Nick and Les
Nick
is.
who cut their hair. Okay,
yeah. Nick and Les, Cass and Carly, Vicky and Lindsay. We do.
And Court and
Lex. Easy and Natalie. I mean, pretty much
there's,
all the basics. Eden and Jay.
There's a lot of LGBTQ couples.
Yeah.
But they do content.
But we can never have too many.
But not like, obviously not a podcast, obviously. But
YouTube.
It's like, it's hard to make content for us as podcasters.
I feel like you don't get the personal engagement other than like here on the podcast platform. Like we talk about our topics and that's where we get personal. But like day to day, life to life, personal, that like giving that whole vlog on camera and shit. We do that for Patreon. But because it's like an added job. So sometimes it's like we see people record absolutely nothing and post it and it gets love, but it's just like for us, and it's crazy because we do a lot, but I think we try to be present in that time and we forget to record. But that this already is a job on its own.
Right.
Coming up with topics and actually recording it, doing the audio, doing all the editing and all that. It's not just like, hey, let's prop up the camera and go on about life how we just go on about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that could be a little bit easier. But I'm sure eventually, like, you think when you think too much of what to give, then that's when it becomes a little bit harder. But yeah, shout out to all them lesbian couples.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
For sure.
Anyway, without further ado, we always get into a little shine. It's been a while, so we had to get to chatting. But we're not going anywhere, y'all. I would feel too guilty. So I love you. Anyway, so I wanted to get into the conversation of like dating and like a mutual friend group or because we've talked about it before, and she's like, oh, I don't know how you befriend your exes, like, and weirdly enough, not weirdly, but I guess it's the norm in lesbian culture that everybody are like our friends or like girls are friends with their exes. But I think, believe it or not, we all kind of intermingle in somewhat of the same circle. So
in lesbian world, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so this is the thing. I feel like there are two sides to this. I always hear like, personally, and I always say like, I don't know how people are cool with their exes. Like, I don't understand this whole best friend thing. You won't catch me being best friends with them. Whatever. And then there's other people who say like, I think it's weird if you're not cool with your exes. Like, how fucked up did it end that it had to end that way? Like some people think that if you're not friends with any of your exes, then maybe you're toxic. Maybe I am, because I'm not cool with none of my exes. And I think it's just for the best, because in my situation, it was like, they didn't get it. Like, we're done. We're done. We're done. And it was like trying to convince me otherwise all the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is why we can't be friends. Because like you don't respect my boundaries.
I feel like when you do it, when you try to create that friendship line or like boundary
after you break up,
it's not. It's bound to
just you need a break from them, honestly, like a couple months.
Yeah, like that's a setup. You're not going to be able to build a friendship like right after the breakup. You have to give time. You have to like have your space and get that disconnect before you try to reconnect. So I can agree in that sense. Like, I've tried to be friends with someone after we broke up, and it made me more mad than anything. Like, it's just like, because and this reminds me of Ultimatum. It's like you can't, it gets weird because that person on such a personal level, right?
Right.
And to us, it's like, I know everything about you. Like, I know all of you. And sometimes when we're in that breakup space and trying to befriend that person, they show this light of themselves that you never experienced. And I think, like, you know, they become assholes, or like they become a little bit more colder and not attentive, or like the expectation of your friendship is too high when you're the one who wants the friendship.
Or they just become like so bold, like getting tattoos and dyeing their hair. It's like, okay, girl, do your thing. Do your thing. I mean, I think everyone has to go through like those phases of like, fuck it. Like, let me just do this. Especially if you're going through a breakup. But have you ever, relating this to like having mutual friends and things like that, have you ever been in that situation where like you were in a relationship and you guys all had the same friends, like you guys were in the same friend group?
No.
Really?
No. I think I've been more so in situations where I met someone I didn't know outside of the friend group, and I got involved with them, and then they become part of the friend group after. And like, you know, when you realize you don't want to exceed or like move past it, you kind of friend zone them, and then they become part of the friend group. Not everybody, but like essentially, like, again, I think there were some people where I was just like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have fucked with you. Maybe your purpose really was to be my friend because you are a good person.
Yeah.
But we weren't supposed to pass this like threshold.
Yeah.
But I also think like maybe in my friend group, you utilize your friends' other friends.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you got your friend group and then those friends have their outside friends of the friend group. I mean, I would, you know, test my luck there. And then at the end of the day, that's your friend, so you deal with that how you please. You know? But no, I actually haven't had like where someone in my friend group.
I've been in that situation when I was in college. So I was dating someone and we both entered like as freshmen, right? And we were in this program called the EOF program. Basically, they have it in like Jersey, New York, maybe Cali. And it's a program for students who come from like underrepresented communities and like basically need help financially. And they basically put you through this boot camp, right, where you're like in school all day. I'm talking about from like 8 a.m. until like 9 p.m. You're like studying in between that or having lunch, and like it feels a little bit like high school even though we're in college, but it's like the summer program before you actually go into college. But whatever, we were both in that. We met during that program, and people would gas us all the time because they knew that we had like a little fling, whatever. So since we came in together and we kind of just knew each other, we kind of were a little bit like attached at the hip. So we made friends with everybody else, and we dated for like 2 years. And then after that, it was weird because we all had the same friends. So he was really talking shit about me to like people that I was cool with and acting like they weren't gonna tell me. So that's what I didn't like. So like, who knows if the people who told me were like agreeing with him or also talking shit. I thought it was so petty. I was like, don't tell me a damn thing anymore. And I actually had a good friend who I had to cut off temporarily because I felt like they were taking their side. And there's always three sides to the story, like my side, your side, and then the truth. But like this person knew the truth. So I thought it was a little fucked up how they were still like being cool with them, knowing that this person was talking shit about me. So I said, I'm done. So I basically distanced myself a little bit, but at the end of the day, everyone stopped fucking with him. And everyone was like just fucking with him. So he was the oddball out. But I think he did that to himself by being an asshole about it. And like he was one of those people that changed. Like he was getting tattoos. He was like riding around the college in a fucking skateboard. Someone who's never skateboarded in his life with no shirt on. I said, that's not my type. That's like that's not who I date.
Yeah, but when you break up with somebody, like the whole point is not the whole point. You're gonna be not even just your own person, but to find yourself doing things that you haven't done that you didn't know that you would actually like.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I was, okay, he's like discovering himself, whatever. So that was awkward, and I honestly would never recommend it again. Because it puts your friends in a tough position, too, because it's like, now I gotta pick sides. And, like, who wants to ever pick sides?
But, like, so you're saying you cut off the person because they were friends still with that person because of the shit that they were talking.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you need to, if you're in that situation where somebody's talking shit about your friend, who this person is also your friend, do you just think like you need to disconnect from that person in honor of that other friend, or just don't talk about that shit around me?
Yeah, like, don't talk about that shit around me. And, like, another thing, it's like, you need to, if you are a real friend, you need to defend your friends if they're not in the room. So if they're talking shit about me, you should be like, you know what? I'm going to stop you right there. That's still my friend. So I don't even want to talk about it. And, like, I feel like some people agree with that. And some people are like, no, I don't want to pick sides. Like, but it's like, how can you sit there and listen to them talk shit about me? Like, I would never allow that.
But I think that that's still in the space of now you're picking sides.
I get that, but it's like, what? Talking shit, though? Like, don't talk. Like, I would be like, don't talk to me about her. Just don't.
Right.
And it's like, how you sound? A guy talking shit about a girl.
It kind of annoys me, though, that when you talk shit about the people that you dated, I mean, in a, like, really, really negative manner, like, really bashfully throwing shade to the person that you were in that long-term relationship with, because that was the person you were defending. That was the person that you were in love with. That was the person, like, you were wholeheartedly to in that time. So for it to be over and you to be that salty about it, like, we can all be hurt. I think all in our younger days we've done that, where we've talked our shit, but it's just like, to really, you know, go crazy with it, it's just, I just think it makes you look dumb. Yeah. It makes you look dumb.
Yeah, and I think maybe part of me was assuming that, I can't tell you what exactly he was saying, but I assumed that since other people was like, yo, he's talking, he said this and this. And so I'm like, if he's telling her, then he's telling you. He's telling you and he's telling, like, it's like, I was like, oh, so you're just, I look crazy. Like, I literally look like a crazy person when in reality I wasn't the one that was crazy. But that was the funny part to me.
In that aspect of it too, is that it was your friend. So I feel like your friend should know you well enough to be like, all right, you sound crazy.
I mean, who knows? Honestly, I feel like sometimes people have two lives. Like, they'll show you this person, they'll smile and shit, and behind closed doors, they're a fucking lunatic. So I'm like, people think I'm a lunatic? Incredible. And then I was like,
not Dyra.
Yeah, so then it puts me in a position where now I gotta defend myself and talk shit about you. And it's like, why like, I didn't even like doing that, because it's like, I dated you for 2 years. Like, you were part of my family, basically. We invited you to all of our family holidays. Like, my mom was super cool with their mom, so it was just like, I don't like that. Like, that whole talking shit about your ex thing to 100 million people. Like, keep that shit
to your best friend,
to your bestie, and that's it. Like, don't, or your sibling. Don't go around telling people who you don't even know. That's so, like, immature.
Honestly, it took me, I mean, I don't come crazy on the, you know, people that they did, but I think, like, now we sit here and, like, shoot the shit a little bit about our experiences. Yeah, of
course, but it's like,
but it took me mad long to even get to that point where I was just like, I couldn't even be like, all right. Maybe I realize now, because at the time I was pretty fucking dumb. Like, I didn't see those bad, like, those red flags and those bad characteristics, or I didn't want to believe it at the time. So it was really hard for me to talk shit on that person, because, like, it just, at the end of the day, I still saw my version of that person, even though they were showing me something different. Yeah. And I think over the years, learning certain things, red flags and behaviors and shit, I'm just like, oh shit, like, maybe that was bad. Like,
yeah, maybe that wasn't normal.
It's making sense. Yeah. And then that's when you're like, oh, bitch, that was what it was. Yeah. So I think it took me long enough, but I didn't do it on site. I wasn't like, and I never bashed, like, any person that I was involved with, unless you really were. I won't even say unless, but I did have one person who was really a piece of shit.
I think the reason why I was also annoyed during that time was that it was affecting my job, since we worked together as well.
That's hard.
And it's like, here we go. Like, who wants drama at work?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants drama at work?
You see me every day, won't say that shit to my face, but you won't say it to the people we hang out with.
Like, come on now. Now it's like people talking shit about you at work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm over this.
That's not my favorite.
But yeah, I honestly don't recommend it. However, it is so common in like the LGBTQ community for you to have like the same friend group, and like it just happens. And I mean, with me and you, I feel like I've made friends with some of your friends, but I still wouldn't even feel comfortable being that cool with your friends.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I have my own friends and I'm so okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like maybe it has to do with the fact that me and my friends have history. We could talk about shit. Like they've known me for years and years and years. They've known me before I even came out. So I feel like, not that it's hard for me to make friends as an adult, but it is a little bit hard for me to open up because I don't know what people I could trust. And since they're your friends as well, I don't feel like intruding into that either.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I don't chill with your friends if you're not there.
Right.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm okay with that, you know?
Yeah.
Certain people.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody who tried to hang out with, but, like, it wasn't... They tried to hang out with my friend, but it was just like, no, that one was a big no-no. That one didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't think I would be opposed to you hanging out with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be a little jealous because I'm not there. Like, I want to have fun. I want to hang out.
Yeah.
But I can understand that. Like, I don't think, you know, your friends are essentially, you guys know your dynamic and your what you guys have, that I don't think that I would be comfortable enough to talk all my shit to them either.
Right?
It's just
like, but I don't know.
Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say because I was going to say something to that.
Would you have any tips for people who are in this situation where they are dating someone, they have the same friend group?
So I don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, only because, I mean, we've all seen Friends and all that. There's another one, but I forget what it is. You never seen Friends?
Oh, that show?
Yeah. There's another one.
I actually
watch a lot of shows.
I watched maybe like 2 episodes. I'm really not cultured. I think they know this already. I watched Rebelde growing up and novelas.
But even then, like,
La Rosa de Guadalupe.
You see those shows and it's like everybody kind of intermingles with the friend group.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like essentially it's kind of natural, and that all stems from, you know, the environment that you share with other people. So it's like, oh, well, these are the people that do the same things I do, have the same interests that I do. So it's like, it makes sense. Why not? I'm in my pool of people.
Friends is the one where they would smoke weed in the basement, or am I totally
No,
off?
that's the 70s show.
Oh wow.
I forgot all that.
Oh wait, Friends is the couch.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the couch.
That stupid purple couch that people love.
Yes.
Yo,
and when you said that, I started thinking about childhood shows. The big comfy couch. I started thinking about Barney. Like, okay.
No. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I probably watched 1 or 2 episodes. I don't know. Maybe I could get into it.
Yeah. I mean, like shows like now, I watch All American and like All American Homecoming. Those are kind of the same too. Those are popping if you want to watch them. Watch them.
Those are good.
But that everybody's kind of intermingling in their friend group. People start, you know, breaking up, dating the other person's ex-person, and people still stay friends. Like, yeah, good for you. But I don't think it's wrong. Again, that's where your interests are. So do it. But I think, you know, tread lightly.
Yeah.
So some tips that I do have, I got 5 tips right here. One is, don't forget to hang out with your friends. Just because we're together doesn't mean that I have to be, you know, we have to be in each other's orbit 100% of the time, and I can't go see the friends that we have. Yeah. You know, a lot of people get consumed in their relationship with this new person. In relationships, period. I think that's just in general, not even just dating someone within your friend group. Don't forget your friends, you know. Take them time to apart. You guys can still hang out as a group together, but take quality time separately from each other to spend with that friend group. Yeah. Another one is be mindful of who's around.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you don't want to make your friends uncomfortable. Like, I just think...
Oh, with the whole PDA thing?
Yeah, like, I think, you know, showing affection, which is another one, like, you don't have to be, like... no, we can't act like this in front of like our friends. We have to be the people that we were before we were together. Like, let's. So then people just stay distant from each other or act like they can't sit next to their partner in front of their friends. You know, they don't want to get made fun of and weird shit like that. Like, you don't have to act like your partner just because you're with your friends isn't your partner. Yeah. Don't act like they're not there, you know? Yeah.
I don't know. People get shy sometimes.
No, I'm saying, like, there's people who literally come around their like that friend group and completely disregard the fact that they have a partner. Which is like, okay,
you gotta have a healthy balance. Y'all shouldn't have to like be eating each other's face, but like you should acknowledge them, especially if you guys have different personalities. You want to make sure they're comfortable all the time if you're the one who's like more outgoing, you know.
So like if we're around, I might touch your hand or but I'm not about to suck your face in front of everybody and make them feel uncomfortable, because then you're like, especially if like it's the single friend group and they're like, that's why I don't want to be around people that are together, you know? I don't want a third wheel type shit.
That's hilarious. My sister from Puerto Rico was telling me that she was like the fifth wheel, and then the friends made her take a picture of them kissing in a concert.
I be feeling bad.
I said, everybody need a friend like you, girl. What? You the cameraman.
I be feeling bad. I don't want to like, because I'm a person who gets like a little uncomfortable where I'm just like, I want the affection, but at the same time, I don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. But if you agree to the terms and conditions to come out with us, you damn sure about to take this picture of us kissing.
Right.
Like, come on. You would want this too?
Come on.
I would be a team player.
Right.
Another tip would be, don't give too much detail about your relationship to your whole friend group, just as you said. You know, fucking ripping your partner in front of your friends, not knowing who's about to go back and tell her. Yeah. You gotta, keep some things for you. That's
too much drama.
Not saying you can't, if one of them happens to be your best friend, whatever, get your advice, get whatever it is you need, but keep some of the details to you, because people form these ideas of your partner, and sometimes people just be waiting for you to fall to slide in. To be real,
weirdos.
So you're gonna tell what you want, as comfortable as you are, but keep some shit to you is my point.
Right.
Another one is, it's okay to show affection, which I said, so we already did that. But the last one is, be neutral when issues arise within your friend group. Don't sit there and let them talk shit about your partner, as she was saying, and then you're like, yeah, she was not shit. Oh yeah, she does that. I be noticing that. You agreeing with them, and then then you go with her and talking shit. Yeah. But I don't like the idea of people picking sides. I think people have their own ideas, and it just is what it is. You have to let people be their own people, and if that doesn't work for you, then that's fine. I just can't deal with that. You have to separate yourself from that person. But yeah, don't be neutral. And if you don't know how to be neutral, then pick your side and stay on that side.
Yeah.
So that was my 5 tips of dating in the group. Now, I have a couple more for when the relationship comes to an end.
She said when.
As if the relationship comes to an end. I don't know. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you long last forever. Sometimes it really be your friends that be the longest relationship for you. But anyway, so being around the friend group or trying to be friends with your ex after a breakup, keep the ex conversation to a minimum. Yeah. Don't go to your friends every time like you're just reintroducing yourself to your friend group. If you weren't isolating yourself, and you're just talking shit, not even talking shit, but just constantly bringing up this person. Where are they at? What are they doing? And then talking your shit. And it's like, the friends don't want to hear that. They're there to support you through your breakup, but they don't want to hear that all the time,
Yeah, they're tired.
There's kind of a time and a place. So let them choose what time and place, because that's a lot. Another tip would be, don't badmouth your relationship, which we've already mentioned. Don't talk shit. For what? It makes you look like an asshole because you're talking about the person that you were just so desperately in love with and that you're about to cry right after you stop talking shit about them. Like, let's be real. You know, again, there's a time and place for that. Just not all the time. Don't ask your friends excessive questions about your ex. Low key stalking. Leave that stalker shit for your Instagram.
Yeah.
Like,
keep it to yourself.
Yeah. You know, you do have the friends that come to you and tell you like, yo, this I've seen them do this or whatever. You know, if they want to do that, they're going to do that. But don't fucking badger them to be like, yo, what's the scoop on him? You know, what they do, where they've been at, who they've been hanging with is bad. We don't want that. Don't put your friends in a position to choose sides. That's, again, being in that neutral state. That's a very sticky situation. If you're the person who needs somebody to be on your side, grow up. If you're attending an event with the group, it's okay to ask if your partner's going to be there.
Oh, yeah. People need to know.
Yeah. Like, I think you need to mentally prepare yourself that that's about to happen. Like, all right, do I want to see them today? You know, because I can keep my ass home and just not deal with it. Right. But it's a good heads up. So don't be afraid to ask if that's what's happening.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're in a social outing, you know, if you feel like being the bigger person, go ahead and say hello to them if you must, or if you will, or if just don't if you don't want to. But be cordial is my point.
What if like they're with a new person?
Is that supposed to stop me from saying hi?
I don't know.
Because it's not.
I'm just saying, and like, or what if you're with the new person? Is it still appropriate to say hi to your ex?
I mean, if we're all in this social group together and like I knew I was gonna see them, I'm gonna give you the to let you know that they're there. But
I'm just asking.
I'd probably say hi. But again, it's really depends on how that relationship ended. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, just being cordial. Like, it don't hurt to say what's up. Like, it's just I don't know how to say it, but it kind of just sets. At least for me, I would think it set a certain mood that I'm good. I'm okay with being here. We not finna be on no weird shit. Yeah. That's just me. And lastly, be calm, you know, when sharing the same space with this person. Again, if you want to be in that friend group and knowing that that ex is still a part of that friend group, you know, you guys are going to share these spaces. So don't allow that to ruin your time. You know, I'm not saying fake it. If you're not ready to be around them, don't be around them. But you don't have to always make it a, you know, a weird dynamic. And that's that. That's what I have. So now that that's done and over with, y'all, we going to get into a family meeting. I feel like it's been some time, but let's get into it. Can you be friends with your ex? Okay, I feel like this is a topic of discussion all the time.
Can you be friends with your ex? Personally, no.
She said it ain't for me, my boy.
This is not for me.
I don't think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I would be friends with every ex that I have. I mean, I don't have many exes, so. But I don't know. I think I would like to say that it would depend on the situation. That's all that I could say. Yeah. But you can if you want to be. Next question is, my partner won't tell me why she stopped talking to her bestie. Should I be concerned? There would be times her bestie would message her at 11 p.m. and all of a sudden they stop talking. My partner says to trust her, but I don't know.
That's how it ends?
Yeah.
I would think that would be weird. Like, I want to know what the drama is. I don't think texting at night it's like a big ass red flag if they're their best friend. My friends message me at all times of the day. My best friends. Yeah. But what will come up for me would be like, oh, they maybe they don't like me.
Yeah, that's true.
Or I don't know. That would be like the first thing I would think of.
Yeah. I feel like this, I see it and I would like, it's giving off she tried to slide in there. They tried to bust a move or something happened, like a little bit past the bestie threshold.
Yeah, that too.
I think that's the most common and like quickest assumption to think. Like,
yeah, well, I
what
don't,
y'all
I don't know why it
did,
needs
that
to
y'all
be
can't
a,
be
I don't know
friends.
why it needs to be a secret.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not a secret. If you're like, there's no explanation to it. Not that there needs to be a full blown explanation,
Right.
but like, oh, I'm just not fucking with her because we not seeing eye to eye, or like
Mhm.
we not. But like, just to trust me.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had time.
Yeah. Last question is, so my girlfriend went out. I'm gonna have fun reading this. So my girlfriend went out one night and broke my trust by lying and hanging out with her ex that same night. I found out that she has been in contact with her ex the entire time we started dating. I honestly believe that my girlfriend cheated on me that night, but I have chosen to stay and try to make things work aside all the lies and broken trust. Now my girlfriend wants to go out and I'm not ready because I don't trust her. Every time the topic comes up of her going out, it's a huge fight. I recently told her I'm okay with going out, but you can't get drunk, and she got really defensive and just really disregarded what I asked of her. I wanted to take baby steps into building the trust again, but she thinks otherwise. I feel like when people break trust, it's not on your time when the person has to trust you. I feel like it's a in the middle type of thing. Obviously, if I break your trust, I'm going to do what I need to do that is necessary to gain your trust back.
Uh-huh.
Now, I don't expect to gain your trust back instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you have to be okay with the fact that it might take them a while.
Mm-hmm.
And accepting, okay, maybe it'll take them a year, maybe it'll take them 2. I think after that, maybe eventually you're like, all right, this trust is never going to be rebuilt. You're never going to feel okay with it. And I can't be okay with being in that space anymore.
No.
But I feel like if you fucked up, it can't be on your timeline when that trust is rebuilt. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Because I feel like people do that. They be like, oh, they get mad, make you feel bad of a person for not trusting you. But like, you put me in that position to not trust you.
Yeah, I don't understand why she had to lie about that. That's like you're digging yourself into a bigger hole by lying. Right. And then hanging out with your ex. Like, it's like, would you like if someone did that to you?
Yeah. Probably not. Probably not.
That would have been strike one for me. No, seriously. That's unacceptable.
Yeah. That's a little annoying.
Yeah, very much.
I mean, if you don't feel the trust, then you don't have to you don't feel the trust. I don't know. Maybe it's always going to be an issue for you. Only when you're comfortable enough to feel like, okay, I'm going to give you that chance again, and hopefully you don't fuck it up. But definitely don't do it on her time. And if she can't kick it and she's not okay with the fact that you're not okay with it, then she going to have to figure some things out.
I think trust is literally like one of the biggest things in relationship that you should feel comfortable with. Like, if you don't trust the person that you're with, then like, what's the point? Yeah, because this is like, you're always gonna be on edge when you're not together, thinking that they're doing something else, and like, then you're gonna come off crazy if you like start like reaching out multiple times, looking up their location. Like, it's like then you become anxious, and then you become the crazy one because you don't trust them because they gave you reasons not to trust them. Yeah, it still gave you reasons not to trust them because people be over here, I don't trust them, but the partner did nothing. You just don't trust them because of your own insecurities. But it's like, if they give you a reason not to trust them, then okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I can't be with someone I don't trust. It's just not it.
You heard it here first.
Tragic.
So yeah, that closes our episode for this evening, y'all. Yes. It was, I'm seeing you in my head, so I'm going to say it was good seeing you guys again. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys miss us as much as we miss you.
Yeah, and we hope that you're enjoying today because I know it's Memorial Day. Yes. So yeah, enjoy the barbecues, enjoy the time off, enjoy time with your friends and family, and listening to our podcast, obviously. Ooh. And catch up on the ultimatum because we're going to talk about it.
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that shenanigans.
We are. We didn't want to talk about it too early because I'm sure there's people that are still catching up. But if you haven't heard of it, the ultimatum is a queer dating show kind of thing on Netflix. They had their first season last year, and now this year they twisted it and only have like queer women on, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the tea is crazy. So catch up. I think by May 31st they're gonna have all 8 episodes. Right now
Yeah.
there's only like 4, but catch up because we want to talk about it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Deuce, deuce, mother goose.